All right, we should be live. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sarah. First, as always. Today's gonna be a lot of fun. We're working on baby monsters, which is being fantastic. All right, so things are coming through. Now let me listen to this, make sure it sounds good. All right, sounds pretty good. Go ahead and mute myself because I do not want to listen to myself talk twice. Get my own music going, which is actually the same thing you guys are listening to today. I've been really feeling this, like, tavern-y music. This one's not very tavern-y. This one's more chill, but... And yeah, they are so cute. So this is a displacer beast, or a displacer kitten. This has been so much fun for me, and harder than I expected, just because baby proportions are so much different than adults, obviously. But especially with monsters, like, if I'm not totally sure about my forms, with an adult, I can just add more wrinkles or more scales or something. With babies, they're just so soft and round and shapeless, honestly. So I have to think a lot more about, like, my secondary shapes and keeping them clean. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So that's what I've been doing today. In this case, the poly paint is just for fun. I'm not actually using it to sculpt, which is kind of unusual. Usually I have the poly paint on as I sculpt, but in this case, since it's black, it's just really hard to see. I'm actually using a different shader than I normally do too, because if I do this with my normal one, it's brown. Because the matte cap is already so peachy. So yeah. Let's go back to just doing fast shader. And yeah, you guys are all caught up. That's what I've been doing. Right now I'm just working on the fur on its chest. I'm just kind of getting the shapes blocked out here, and then I have a really nice fur brush that I like that I might go over to add detail. I don't know if I want this to be too detailed. I kind of like how cartoon simple it is, but I don't want it to look too different from the rest of my stuff. So we'll see. I'm just playing with a lot of shapes and having fun with it. I have a lot of my students that ask me, like, how do you do fur? Essentially, this is the process. You just take a clay build-up brush and you start building up forms. It's a lot of smoothing and building up. Once you have a shape that you like, I usually go with the pinch brush and the move brush to kind of get the exact shape I want. So there we go. I got a little couple tufts of fur right there. Those actually came out pretty good. I'm going to have a heck of a time trying to duplicate that. Should have made that a VDM brush. I recently did a lesson on that last Sunday, so it's been on my mind. But yeah, that's pretty much the process. I remember the first time I tried to sculpt fur, I just thought it was impossible. It doesn't feel intuitive, or didn't feel intuitive to me at all. Kind of like the first time I ever tried to draw like a 3D shape with a pencil, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, first grade and you watch someone draw a cube and you're like, oh my gosh, they're such a good drawer. That was driving me nuts. It's like, that's not a word. Yeah, I was never that kid. Like the artsy kid. You know, everyone has like their label. I was just a smart kid. That was me. The can I borrow your homework kid? And I don't know why people ask me. I was brutal. I was like, no. I was definitely that kind of person that was like, I had to suffer through and do this, so do you. Believe it or not, I did have friends. Yeah, I might keep the detail really low and simple like this, because I really like it. For context, the kind of fur I usually do, just this brush right here, and you can see it's like really textured. And, like, I'm not saying it's not awesome, but like, I don't know, I don't care for it. I kind of prefer these really simple shapes right here, and I can go in and add some individual strands and detail. Or maybe I'm just feeling inefficient today. It's one of those days where I'm like, I'd rather do the tedious, slow way. It's fun to work like that sometimes. Guns here. Hello, how are you? I'm very good, thank you. Or I'm well. Very good, luckily, using ZBrush while watching ZBrush. That is my favorite. Like, when I'm not live streaming, I'm usually watching someone else live stream. I think it's a lot of fun. It always makes me happy when people mention that they're working on ZBrush when they're watching me, because I'm just like, oh my goodness, I am that person for someone. I don't know, it just feels really cool. That, and now it's like officially like a little sculpting party. If you don't mind, I'd love to know what you're working on. Ah, look how cute his little face is. Ah, love cute things. Yeah, I'm way too proud of like these two tufts of fur right here. They came out really clean. Probably because I was talking through like the process as I was doing it, and I was just being more thoughtful. There are times like sculpting hair, for example, like I know how to do that, but if I'm not paying attention, I'll do it like really sloppy, and I'll be like, why does it look bad? It's like, I wonder. That doesn't happen too often, because that means I'm just being like, I'm just rushing for no reason. Let's see, I kind of want this for piece to be a little higher up, so let's see if I can kind of just scooch it up there. That worked out. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth, and then I have a weird gap right there, so I'll go in with move, back face mask, and just fill it in. There we go. That's better. Usually these little center pieces right here I actually do out of symmetry. I'm not sure why I'm not doing that right now, but it's already happened. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, and at some point I'll work on the baby owl bear, because someone asked, Hephaestus did, if I was going to do that during this live stream. I said yes. Seema here is here. Hello. I was an opportunist, so I wouldn't give people my homework per se, but I would check it for them for a fee. That is awesome. Oh my god. That's great. Oh, and Sarah mentioned earlier I missed this. With baby, just add more fluff. Very true. Very solid. I'm working on a baby dragon turtle as well, and that's been challenging. It kind of just looks like Spyro. I don't want to show it to you guys yet because it's really on that edge of looking just creepy. It's gonna be cute. It just takes time. Gun says, I'm learning to use a program. I watch you. I'm relatively new to this world of redesign. Well then, welcome. It's a very fun world, but a little difficult. Yeah, it's a lot of difficult. I don't know. I just remember feeling like frustrated because I'd just be like, I just want to sculpt like a line. You know what I mean? And in ZBrush, you can't even do that right away. You'd like open a project or import an object or something because it just does the squares. Just so silly. And then Sarah says, I'm stumbling my way through my first playthrough of Dragon Age Origins. Your first playthrough? Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. I wish I could redo my first playthrough and just forget the entire game. I tried to play it again somewhat recently, but I know too much. I know like where the side quests are, how to complete them, the optional endings. I know what the NPCs are gonna say, where those dialogue options go. Like, I have just played that game to death. If you're stuck anywhere, let me know. I can tell you where to go. Freaking love that game. They recently released a trailer, or just like a teaser of Dragon Age 4. It's useless, honestly. They're just like, yep, Dragon Age is a cool world. And I'm like, yep. They show some concept art, but like it doesn't really tell you anything. It's like, yep, Solus is going to be in the game. And I'm like, I'd hope so. I don't mean to be so snarky. I'm just hurt because they released Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem before Dragon Age 4. And no one wanted those games. So I'm like, cool. I'm glad you're finally working on Dragon Age 4 8 years later. It's been a long time. But in other news, I am really excited for Cyberpunk that comes out in just a couple months. November 17th or something. Oh, and Sarah, I assume like you must love Alistair. He's so good and wholesome and likes cats and cheese, so he's pretty high up on my list. I'm curious what your impressions of Morgan are going to be. If you've met her or not, you will. That's not even a spoiler. She's everywhere. Also a great character. She's like designed to be unlikable, but that's why I liked her. I am much too excited about your first playthrough. It was just such a good game. It just blew my mind. The combat's honestly kind of boring and tedious in a way, but like, I don't know. I didn't mind it. It's very much so more like a CCRGB, whatever, computer role-playing game. CRGB. There you go. Which I usually don't like. But in that specific game, I thought it was fun. His little fluffy chest. Oh, cute. Let's see. Hey, Face this here. Hello. Are you going to make baby adventures to fight the baby monsters? No. Sarah says, I'm romancing Alistair and he's a dork. I am very happy to hear that. You've made the right decision. I'm also just really excited for you to play the end of the game and just see like what decisions that you make, because all of your companions go through a lot by the end of the game, and the end of the game like wrecked me. Mostly because I'm petty and I picked a very petty option. But it's going to be great. Just to let you know, like, it doesn't end dully. It's just fantastic the whole way through, pretty much, honestly. Let's see. Alistair's a saint, and I love him. Happy there's lots of Dragon Age fans here. Let's see. Sarah says, I'm in the Fade after the demons invade the Mage Tower. Okay. Very awesome. So you're like a... Oh, wait. You're not a decent way through. You're super, super early then. Yeah. So I have... Oh, I have met Morgan. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if you were on the first one, like when you go to the tower thing. Oh, you don't go to the Fade, though. You go to the Fade once. Never mind. I know exactly where you're at. You're a decent way through. So you very much so met Morgan. Morgan's a favorite maniac. More Dragon Age people. These are my people. I love you guys. I don't know, but for some reason, like, a lot of people I've met, like, haven't played, or not, like, they haven't played Dragon Age. I haven't heard of it. And I'm like, how have you not heard of it? Like, Dragon Age Inquisition was Game of the Year. It was everywhere, too. So I'm like, where have you been? I don't know how many of you guys played Inquisition, but I freaking loved it, and I played as an elf, and the story felt just perfect. Like, you could play as a Qunari, but I honestly, like, it's cool that you have the option, but I feel like the story makes less sense if you do that. I know there's, like, 2 NPCs that are like, ooh, you're a Qunari, and I'm like, that doesn't make the playthrough unique or make sense. And yes, since I played as an elf, yes, I did romance Solus. And yes, he's awful. I don't know. It was very entertaining. And I was very upset by the end. I was also mad because, like, you have to play the Trespasser DLC to get the ending of the game. I feel like not enough people bitch about that. Or I don't have enough friends that play Dragon Age. But I bitched about that a lot. Sarah says, you go through the Fade twice if you're a mage like me. Ah, yes, because the harrowing in the beginning. Yeah. Then you've met Cullen, who I find like the sweetest character ever, and he's a big part in Inquisition. Let's see, Numberbox Gamer. Dragon Age was my first CRPG. Why can't I say that? I fell in love. Just so fantastic. Right? I've tried to play other CRPGs. Oh my god. I'm having like a stroke. I try to say that. I don't know why. Anyway. I tried Divinity, and it's not for me, guys. And I was really disappointed because I thought the writing was really cool, and I like, enjoyed the characters, too. I don't know. It just felt weird. And I know Divinity, it's Original Sin 2, so, like, the one that everyone loves. And I tried Pillars of Eternity, which is, like, the same game. Like, totally different story, but, like, very similar feel. And, I don't know. I couldn't get into that either. I want to say it's because both of those games are a lot grittier than Dragon Age. Like, you have to kind of know how to play. In Dragon Age, like, the first time I played through it, I must have been, like, 11. Like, I was, yeah. Yeah. And, I could still hack through it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, they're too hard for me. They don't feel fun. I might give them another shot, who knows. I still have them, I haven't returned them yet. I think a big gripe of mine is, like, just your HUD is just so full of crap and, like, abilities and stuff, and I don't like that. I like really minimalistic. Maniac says, I'm excited for BG3. I should know what that is. Baldur's Gate? That's my guess. I don't know if we're making a third one, but that's my guess. My music stopped playing. Where are you, B? I have you on shuffle, and you did not shuffle. Feeling betrayed. Try us again. Recently, I've just been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. I've restarted the game for like the third time. It's not a fun game to restart. Like, I'm notorious for starting new games. Like, I must have restarted Stardew Valley, like, I'm not even going to that. It's like an embarrassing number of times. I personally can't stand the voice acting in Monster Hunter, and I just find the characters grating and annoying, which is weird because I'm usually a sucker for any characters. You give me any reason to like them, and I'm like, ah, yes, they are my best friends. But I don't get that in Monster Hunter. So I've been slogging through the beginning of that. But it's going to be worth it because I still haven't played the Iceborne DLC. Which is funny because that's like the whole reason I bought the game again. I still haven't gotten to that point. Wow, this is too cute, guys. Yeah, I like this fur texture better than like... I think this one looks nicer. Like these fur chunks are nicer. But for the specific like style that I'm doing here, I think this looks nicer. Mahir says, which Monster Hunter? World, the one for the newest one. Hephaestus says, Red Dead 2 and Monster Hunter World aren't the worst restart. Or are the worst restart. I'm gonna say, I was like, Red Dead also sucks to restart. I'm like, ah, yes, I understand. I mean, I love the snow and I just walked through the snow for like hours, it felt like, just because I was just so amazed by how well it like crunch and like deform. I don't know. I was endlessly entertained by that. But yeah, it's really slow. Red Dead is such a great game. I haven't finished the epilogue. I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to get too like spoilery, but I was really glad that there is pretty much like a ton of game to play after the very final end. I know the game's been out for a while, but that game especially has a very definitive and like shocking end, I guess. I don't know. I don't get too far into spoilers. I'm just gonna drop that conversation. I'm having so much fun, just like, I don't know, really working on this slowly. Look at his little feet. Ah. Sarah says, Stardew's great. I love playing with my friends. Yeah, I haven't actually played it with any friends. I have a friend that I probably could play it with, but like, she's also as flaky as I am, so, like, yeah. But no, it seems like it'd be a lot of fun to play with friends. I just play solo and play the same way every time. I spend way too much time in the mines, and then I'm like, wow, I'm tired of this. And I burn myself out. And then I go to Skull Cavern, and then like rinse and repeat the whole process. And I get frustrated because the strongest sword you can get, I think in vanilla, is the Galaxy Sword. And it's like not that strong for Skull Cavern. I have that really crazy awesome mod, Stardew Valley Expanded, which has added a lot to the game for me. I need to play that again. So many good games, guys. So many good games. I love this so much. If any of you guys, I think all you guys that are here watched live streams from last month too, but I did Monsters last month, like super grim dark horror. So this is like such a change. Look at him. Oh my god. Ah. Mahir says, oh, Monster Hunter World. What is your weapon of choice? Insect glaive, but I'm trying to branch out. So I've done the dual blades, the long sword, just because it's a katana and it looks cool. And right now I'm doing sword and shield, which is kind of more boring than I anticipated. I always end up back to the insect glaive because, again, I love animals, and I think the fact that like a kinsect that you work with is really cool. But yeah, I feel like the upgrades for the insect glaive don't look different enough. Like, I'm that kind of person who's like really into customization and like just aesthetics. So like, yeah, the different you upgrade your insect glaive, it's just like, oh, you killed the Kulu Yaku, so now there's like 3 feathers of it on it. I'm like, that's not That's not cool enough. If you go to Sword and Shield, like, they look significantly different. So that's partly why I'm doing it. Have you played Witcher 3? Oh, yes. Yes, I have. Also love that game. Hey, Sean's here. Hello. Sarah says Sword and Shield just because of the guide. The person. A lot of people don't use Sword and Shield. It's like the least popular weapon, but not because no one likes it. Just people just don't use it. Oh, and Insect Glaive is a lot of fun because you're just constantly in the air. So I really enjoy that. But again, this playthrough I'm trying to get good with the Sword and Shield because the Insect Glaive is a lot of fun, but like after a while, it's just the same pattern. What? It's right trigger X to jump and then circle, 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 triangle. Like that's it. There you go. Like I know you can like send out your Kenzak and get your buffs and stuff. So you spend the first bit of the battle running around to like hit the parts of the monster you want. But after that, like I feel like it's pretty, I don't know. I still really love it, and truthfully, I'm probably gonna end up going back to it. So I don't want to harp on that or slam on that too much. Oh, cute. Okay. Here says I'm a dual blades and bow and arrow usually. Yeah, dual blades are so much fun because what do they call it? Demon mode, hell mode. I think it's demon mode or demon of flurry. Whatever. It's super fun, and that's really cool. I've never done the bow. I think the least popular is actually hunting horn. Oh my god, yeah. I've completely forgot that was even an option. Okay, now you know you play on PS4. I play on PS4 and Xbox, and we just recently bought like a supercomputer PlayStation. Oh my god, it's just a computer. We bought a desktop. There we go. I don't know. It's hard saying that. Just because there's a couple games I want to try out that are PC only. So, and because it's time. Hephaestus says, this stream has mostly been about talking about my favorite games and Mia squealing about how cute the monster is, and I'm all for it. Yeah, it really is. It's just like talking games. Oh my god, it's cute. And then games. Oh, that's really true. I didn't think about that. But look at it. It's really rare that I color the eyes like this. I usually just leave them like blank voids, and I'm okay with that. But for this one, oh my goodness. It needs eyes. This is actually getting pretty close to done. The pose is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to turn its head a little bit and, you know, really lean into the absolute cuteness. I don't know if I want the entire body to be so smooth, but again, it's a Displacer kitten. And Displacer minis still aren't even that big, even though they're panthers. So I don't know if it's even worth going through and doing like a light fur texture on the whole thing, because it's probably going to come across as just smooth anyway. I also like that like the chest draws so much attention. Yeah, see if I start doing like this like fur kind of texture, it's just going to make it pointlessly, I don't know, texture noisy. That's my technical term. So I'm actually going to trim dynamic and really clean up these forms and make them really flat. I'm almost worried about this looking too different from my usual style. That's just because I don't really know what my style is. I just know that everything I make looks similar. I don't recommend that. I recommend, like, with art, knowing why what you make looks that way. I'll figure it out. I'll know why at some point. I might want to make the tail fluffy, but it's a panther. Like, they don't have fluffy tails. And that'd be a lot more work. So you know what? We're not doing that. The tail's cute just the way it is, though I might tuck it a little closer to the body. There we go. Freaking adorable. I also love cats, so I'm very partial to this. Here says, welcome to the PC Master Race. I've been joking about that too, because one of my friends, Walker, is PC Master Race. We play Call of Duty with him, and he's on PC, and it's annoying because in crossplay it's turned on. Ricky and I are on console. He's on Xbox, and I'm on PlayStation. and we just get wrecked by PC players because they have that sensitivity and like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to suck. Sarah says make it fluffy. I don't think I'm going to, just because the tail, like, again, like, it's a panther. They just don't have fluffy tails. I think I like how it looks right it is. Mihir says, really curious what specs you chose for the desktop you recently got, especially since new hardware got announced yesterday. Yeah, we ended up getting a pretty good deal on the one we got because of it. We got the 2080 Ti graphics card. It's the one right below the one that they just replaced, which is like twice as good. But yeah. All the other specs, honestly, I don't know. Ricky knows. It's really good. It should be able to run. It will run everything. I specifically want to run Skyrim really, really modded to hell because I've never played beyond Skyrim, and that's just Skyrim brand new pretty much. So I'm really excited about that. Very nice. Hibigsa says, do you like PC gaming way more if you get a mouse like the Razer Naga that has the number pad on the side, in my opinion? Oh, that's interesting. Mihir says, I really hope you didn't overpay for that. I really didn't. My music's not playing again. A lot of stuff is just out of stock right now, too. Like, just completely out of stock. Like, we were going to build our PC from scratch. You know what I mean? Is it raining? Anyway, but yeah, most of the stuff wasn't even out there. Maker says, I would say the 2080 Ti is worth 500 max with the announcement of the new GPUs. Oh, honey, that's not true. That's definitely not true. Just because the graphics cards that are under that go for more than that, just to let you know. The new graphics card is selling for 14, I think, which is actually a really good deal. I'm surprised they didn't price it higher, though I'm pretty sure people are still mad about the price. But yeah, 500 for second, what's right under that? Nah, you're out of your mind, in my opinion. I don't think we actually paid that much more than that, but still. It's all just because these numbers are really fresh in my head because we just got it. So at this point, I think I'm going to start moving around the tentacles and posing. I'm going to keep the tail separate, but everything else can pretty much be the same piece. I might zero mesh this. You know what? Oh yeah, I had subdivision levels. Let me go back to my last quick save, just because I did have this in proper subdivision levels, and that'll make it a lot easier to pose. And when you merge subtool to something with subdivision levels, you lose your subdivision levels. So obviously I don't want that. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna keep that separate. So in that case, I'll actually get a transpose master. Let me get this tail the right color. There we go. Oh, the blue is kind of cute too. Happy with this. There we go. Uncle Sean says, Logitech 502 is OP because DPI switch. I don't know a lot about that. For FPS it is. Gotcha. Mihir says, given that the 3070 is $499 and should match performance. I don't want to talk computer specs. You guys can keep talking about it, but I'm just like, I'm actually already bored of this. Sorry. Alright, let's get a cute pose on this. So I'm going to turn this and then turn his head to face the camera. There we go. Make sure that's blurred a lot. I'm also going to lighten the color so you can see a little better. There we go. It's going to be a simple pose, but I think it's really going to add a lot. Weren't like leaning its head like it wants you to pet it. And then with this, I don't like using just the 3D gizmo. I usually use the transpose line. It just rotates better. I'm not totally sure where I want to put these ones. Probably just curling the other way. That looks good to me, and I'll probably grab the ones behind it and raise it so it's a little bit higher. Cute. Alright, same thing with this one. I think I'm going to put this one a little bit lower. There we go. Oops. Forgot this other one's still unmasked. Now look at the chat just a second. I just got a little focused on what I was supposed to be doing. I'm gonna add a little swoosh to the chest fur. I think this one's a little awkward because it's sticking like straight up. So let me adjust that really quick. Do not switch, rotate. Making sure I'm smoothing the transitions between the little tentacles and the fur. Or just really its back, because I don't really have any fur textures right here. Very adorable. All right. Sarah says, I have no clue about computer specs beyond that memory is good. I mean, you're not wrong. Destruction magic is super OP in Dragon Age, yeah. Really, any magic in Dragon Age is really OP. All right, I think the last stage is to merge it all together and then smooth out transition between the tentacles and the little spiky heads. There it is. Danielle, this fascinating conversation is not as great as a cute misplaced kitten. Yeah, if you're getting 1080 and 60 FPS, you are just fine. Sean said my niece and I ended up looking at the baby monster references and then more baby monsters for hours. She was totally fascinated. Future gamer for sure. That's awesome. go with a little bit more poly paint, get a cute render on this, and this one will be done. I can't remember the last time I had a Patreon model done within the first week. I like really want to make sure I took September a little bit slower, and ironically by taking it slower pace and getting more done. There we go. It's probably because my wrist is feeling so much better too. That really put a damper on last month. It's definitely not 100%, but like, it's just so much better. Alright, I'm kind of going to play with different matte caps here because this one was great for getting colors like actually correct. Like my flat colors are actually like the color it's supposed to be. Since I usually use that peachy one when I go to the flat colors, like it'll be like way more blue toned than I meant for to cancel out the peachier tones. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that means I can really pick whatever matte cap I want and it should look pretty good actually. Like I really like this one. It's a little dark, but I can edit that. This is the matte cap I normally work with, so of course it's making it brown because I can't get black with this. The black, it's too black. These are all so cute. I like that a lot. Again, it's not the right color, but I think it looks very nice. These are just too dark. But if I render them, the light in the front, yeah, it lightens it up a lot. Since this is so dark though, I really want to find one that has good shadows and good contrast. Like this does a better job. I mean, I might just use the matte cap I normally do, just accept that it looks brown. There's some really fun ones too that I'd never use, but goodness, that hurts to look at. Yeah, I don't like any of these a ton. Thank you who faced this. I'll get your roll in just a second. Let me look through this really quick. Danielle says, forgive me, this feels like backseat sculpting, but the toe detailing line's not deep enough. They're fine. Wrist issues are a nightmare, right? Mihir says, interesting how the poly paint and angle makes the eyes look smaller. Yeah. Let's see, the skin. Oh yeah, it is supposed to have 6 legs, huh? I totally forgot about that. Fuck. I'll think about it. We'll see what I do with that. It just magically grows 2 other legs. I honestly totally forgot about that. Oops. It's fine. Alright, let me get that roll. I thought that this is totally legally distinct from. You know, honestly, I can always just say that's the reasoning for it, even though it wasn't. I just forgot. Because I've done a display service before, and yeah, doing the 6 legs was very awkward. I've also done one that had 8, and it was even trickier. Trying to get my dice, but I keep minimizing it by accident. Here we go. Also, I don't even have that on my screen right now. I totally forgot. So let me go ahead and show that. Boop. And I belong over here. I had it set for my classroom from Sunday and I forgot to change it. Alright, let's get this rolling. 1. Which is headphone color, I think. Pretty sure. Yes. Whatever color you would like. Or that I wouldn't like. All right. I like this matte cap a lot, actually. It's I'm looking at it without poly paint as well. So I normally do those pitch black backgrounds just to get most contrast. Yeah, that's a lot better. It's more like an ash gray kind of thing. I'm going to change the eyebrow color for sure. Let's see. Danielle says, I'll fight to the death. The dragon should have 4 limbs and 2 wings. Oh, 100%. And then wyverns, people don't understand the difference. It's like they don't have 4 legs. They have 2 legs and 2 wings, which is their arms pretty much. Let's see. Bright green. Well, let's do it. There we go. I should be green now. This is very precious. Still not totally happy with the material, just because the blacks are kind of tricky, but I bet white will do a great job. Yep, it sure did. That looks better. The tail a bit darker. Very cute. I guess. I mean, here you're just being difficult. I mean, they are, but like, that wasn't her point. Yeah, okay, Asian dragons count too. I get you. I'm just like baffled I forgot that displacer beasts have 6 legs. So now I'm like, okay. What if I wanted to add like another, like how would they sit like this? I think I'm just gonna leave it. Also, it makes me happy. And yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna be upset about it. I mean, look at it. All right. But there's our displacer kitten, which came out very, very cute. Danielle says, I guess the closest is like ants and spiders, which are generally slightly less cute than kittens. Generally, slightly less cute. Indeed. That's the thing. Six legs are so alien, it's hard to figure out how to pose them. Right? And like, oh my goodness. I was making Maryland. Yeah, the like, snake woman who has like a bunch of arms and stuff. And like, it was so weird. It was a little easier because I just had, I made her scapula really big and had 4 arms because like 2 coming out of each, but it was still really weird, and honestly I was not excited about it. All right, so we are an hour in. Probably gonna take a quick break and just kind of hang out for a second, and then I will work on the owl bear. The owl bear is like 40% done. The proportions are mostly there, but it needs some work. It's not as like polished as this one. This one comes across as like very Disney. It's very cute. But again, I like how polished this one came out. I'm definitely able to look at it and see things that I would change, but that's natural. Overall though, I like the balance of detail too. It's pretty rare for me not to put some sort of like surface noise or something on the entire body, but in this case having the skin just be like really smooth, and just have like the fur chest and the cheek tufts have texture, I think is a nice difference. I'm happy with that. I think the biggest thing I would change is the positioning of the tentacles. Like I like them from the top, but from this angle I didn't like that they lined up. I would have put this one a little bit higher. It's funny because it's like, well, why don't you do that then? I'm like, because it's endless. We're like tweaking and improving things, you know what I mean? Mira said, what would you change? Just since you said you can see things you would change. Oh, I just talked about that. But that's right. You hear what I said 20 seconds later. Thank you, Sean. Danielle, I still love your comment about ants and spiders. Alright, I think I'm going to save this for like the 8th time because I'm paranoid. And then we'll move on. Yep, that's the owlbear. There you go, in its entirety. No, I'm just kidding. Here he is. He's a little too tall still, so his proportions are more like fat adolescent rather than like baby, so I'm going to work on that. I'm also going to add some little toe claws and make his little neck floof bigger. Also going to get my music going again. Did you name the kitten? My first thought is something stereotypical, like charcoal or coal. Or death floof. Could see that. Yes. So I'm just pretty much just compressing it, keeping the head the same size, but raising everything else up just to make him a little bit smaller. There we go. Those are already much better proportions than what I had before. It's crazy what difference that makes. He's still like a little old man looking somehow to me. I really like it. I do plan to give him like an apple or something that he's holding. I don't know why all these babies are he's. I want to be careful not to texture this like fur too much because it's really going to be like fur feather textured. I want them all to look kind of happy, but this one I can't make the beak smile, really. I mean, maybe I can. I don't know. My thought was just like to make the eyes squinty. It looks happy to me. Probably give him bigger cheeks too. This owlbear is very well taken care of, hence the pudginess. It's kind of like a teddy owlbear. There we go. So he'll be smiling from this side, which like the thought of like their beak contorting at all is like really weird, but I don't care. It's fantasy. It's an owlbear, like. So if you look at it from this exact angle, you'll see the smallest little smile. Yeah, otherwise you will have no idea. Unless I'm like, there, smile. I'm gonna pull a couple of feathers over his nose. Still playing with the proportions and where everything is going to fit together. I definitely like the front, the forearms right here. The little feathers poking out. That's going to look really nice. So that's probably not going to change a whole lot. God, it's so goofy looking. It's adorable. Maniac says, what scale are the finished models going to be? 28mm, so baby scale. As far as like what size these are going to be, I'll probably just look up like how big owlbear babies are. I know like the adults are like 6 feet tall on their hind legs or 8 feet tall. I don't know, let's look it up. Baby owlbear size, D&D. These are going to be with no base for sure. So you'll scale whatever you want to. Actually, there's a few that have a custom base. Like I'm doing the baby dragon turtle, and that one's going to have like a wave that it's riding. Which I guess you could still scale, no problem. It wouldn't change anything. I'm not conveniently finding a size. I mean, for the adults, obviously, but. Yeah, so owlbears are 8 to 10 feet. So I probably just pretend they're like 2 to 3 feet tall. This, I think 2 feet tall would make a lot of sense. Like up to your shins, up to your knees. There we go. I have some large feathers in the back of the hind legs too. I have some on top as well. Nah. I like them on the back. Wow, this is really cute. Danielle says, just start printing my Frog Night Soul. All right, awesome. Sean says, I'm definitely buying 3D printer with my stimulus check, if that ever happens. Yeah, 3D printing is awesome. You're going to enjoy it a lot. Whether that's the stimulus check or later. It's so weird doing like pupils on them. I'm just so used to not. I think I want him a little bit cross-eyed and like looking at whatever he's holding. Or just like insane looking. God, that's so silly. Starting to subdivide thing, just to get an idea of what this is going to look like when it's all smoothed out. Sarah says, so are you making all the babies a bit cartoony? Yeah, I think so. It's not so much like my intent, that's just really how they're coming out. Also, I think if the eyes aren't painted, like if you just look at this like this, like yeah, it's cartoony, but I think the poly paint is really what makes it look super cartoony. I mean, I can see like painting this hyper realistic probably isn't likely anyway, but it could be done. This set is gonna look really good together. Sean says, I think the cartoony feel has a lot to do with how babies usually look. The head and eyes usually bigger and give it that kind of look. Yeah, it's true. That's very true. I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I was sitting here and I was thinking, I'm like, how would I make this look more realistic? And I'm like, I'd make the eyes smaller and the proportions a bit different. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's because my style actually is pretty very semi-realistic, but I've been making those monsters recently that actually, from last month, I'm not saying they look like hyper realistic, but more so. So I think it's especially contrasting. Danielle says, it's hard for me to imagine anyone who's interested in printing baby monsters wouldn't like them on the cute cartoony side anyway. Very true. I'm probably going to post an update on Patreon about how these are coming out too. Not like as a vibe check, just to be like, hey, this is what's coming. Because I'm sure people are going to be super excited about these. Also, I know a lot of people specifically who are looking forward to these as presents. So, even more so, want them to be cute. It makes me excited to think about these being given as presents or sitting on someone's desk. Oh, I can't stop laughing. They're just... If you guys have been watching me for a while, you'll know that I tend to make the face of what I'm sculpting. And most of the things I sculpt are pretty blank-faced or, like, mad-looking. So, this is a change, that's for sure. Goodness. This definitely isn't finished, but I'm probably gonna wrap up the live stream pretty soon here, so I want to get a render on here I liked. What if I like a spooky render? Ooh, demon baby. It still looks cute. I'll probably go through and put together some work in progress shots too, because I've been wanting to post more stuff like that to my Patreon. Because I know you guys like seeing it, and I didn't post a whole lot last month actually. Like it wasn't none, but a lot of it was more just like logistic stuff and like housekeeping stuff. I want to post more like art. That is a cute baby. Yeah, so we're stopping just about a little over an hour. I'm getting sleepy. It's time to eat again. The song I was listening to just ended too, so it's like wrapped up nicely in my head. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. This was a ton of fun. I'll be live streaming again tomorrow, most likely. I might end up going to the coast. Probably not. Just because if Ricky goes, I might like staying here and just doing art all day. He's awesome, but hanging out by myself kind of sounds fun. Just having Bird yell at me while I while I sculpt all day. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and if not, I'll see you next Thursday. So thanks for joining. Bye.